Wasn't good enough. Obviously the turnovers, but just in the execution in general. They have to do a good job against us with their defense, but we got to execute at a high enough level, and we clearly haven't done it in the two games we played against
Hey,
them.
if you know, my name is Keith. I do Black Quarterback Series, and today we're gonna have a serious conversation about the Chiefs and why Taylor Swift needs to be at every game. No, we're not gonna do that. But it is interesting that when she's not there, they lose, and when she's there, they win in convincing fashion. That's interesting. But um, Kansas City losing this game is really kind of like the Philly problem. You play around with your opponents, um, and then not taking them seriously, and then you look up and you're 9-14 at halftime. 14. He was down 14-3 to Denver. So let's get into the numbers. Patrick Mahomes 25 for 39, two interceptions, 249 yards. They had three fumble losses, as well as they were 3-10 on fourth down. That's at a rate of 30%. So, and also you gave up 6 sacks, and Mahomes was running around for his life, right? So we have to be honest about it. Mahomes is not playing well. I don't know if I heard this or I saw a stat, but Mahomes leads the league in interceptions right now. Last week I talked about the Lamar Jackson method, the Lamar Jackson metric. If this was Lamar Jackson, what would they be saying? If this was Lamar Jackson, they'd be like, "See, he's not as good as we thought. He's not worth the money we're giving him, and all that." I haven't watched anything today, and I can't wait to watch Nick Wright defend his team as to why it's not as big of a deal as we think it is. But Mahomes is not playing well. We got to be honest about it. Mahomes is not playing top quarterback type football right now. You can be like, it's the weapons, it's that. But at the end of the day, you got to get it done. I don't care. Nobody else would get that. Defense. Nobody else would get it. So we shouldn't do it for the top guy in the league. So we us as football fans, we got to refigure what we think about Mahomes, especially maybe this particular year. Maybe he'll actually get it done this year. Who knows? But as of right now, he's not playing well. The defense did not play well at all. You're down big against a Denver offense who hasn't looked that well in years. Now, granted, it was some big plays being made. Russell Wilson turned back the hands of time 5 years and looked amazing. 14 for 21, 132 yards and 3 touchdowns. Looked really, really good. The numbers don't tell you how well he played, but he was up and down as well. Russell Wilson was up and down as well. So I don't want it to come off like Russell Wilson just thoroughly outplayed Mahomes, because that didn't happen. But Mahomes did not play well, and Russ did outplay him. But I want to give it more to the defense, or just Denver in general. Denver heard all the chatter. Denver heard all the noise. They heard blah blah blah. How Kansas City hasn't beat them since the Obama administration, and when the Rams were actually here in St. Louis, like that was a long time ago. We're talking 5-6 years at this point, if not more than that. So at home, you come out with almost nothing to lose because everybody expects Kansas City to win. Kansas City lays the bet, and you take advantage of it. That's what you're supposed to do. This is any given Sunday. This is an any given Sunday type league. So Mahomes has some answers. KC has some things they need to solve. Maybe Taylor Swift should be at every road game now. And so we're gonna move on to the Eagles. So I was going to go into the diatribe about how the Eagles played down to their competition, and they were down 14-3 in the second quarter, and the defense couldn't get a break and everything. But I wasn't gonna do that. I'm gonna end up changing that. This is the NFC East game. I don't know why I didn't think about that until I heard somebody say that a while ago. Maybe when I was rewatching the game. But they said this is an NFC East game. Every NFC East game is crazy. So I shouldn't be expected that the Eagles did not play their best until later in the game when they finally got it together against an inferior opponent. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna give it to. That it was an NFC East game. Now they did eventually get it together. Hurts was 29 for 39, or 29 for 38. I wrote it wrong. It'll be up on the screen. 319 yards, 4 touchdowns, and AJ Brown and Tyreek Hill might be the two best receivers in the league right now. Because what these guys are doing is some stuff we've never seen. I know it's like, this is a throwing league. Their numbers are going to be inflated. I understand that. But the stuff these two guys are doing is on some other type of stuff. You know what I mean? AJ Brown was 8 receptions, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. So Eagles eventually got it together. They ended up winning, but it was close. It was close at the end. It was close at the end, but there was not a point where I thought that Sam Howell was going to be able to lead that team to a game-winning drive at the end. So, shout out to the Eagles, but again, you can't keep playing down to your competition. Your losses, you've got caught up in that, and you lost. So, a win is a win, though. A win is a win, though. And speaking of wins, let's get to the Ravens. So Lamar was 18 for 27, 157 yards, touchdown. Gus Edwards really did the heavy lifting today. I don't have his numbers up here. Oh, I do have his numbers. He was 19 carries, 3 touchdowns. So he did a lot of the heavy lifting because the offense was very shaky today. I don't know if Lamar was checking into these or that was what Monken ran, but the screens that they ran today were absolutely terrible. If that was Mahomes, or not Mahomes, if that was Lamar who was checking that, I don't know what he was seeing because none of them, either it was incredible plays made by the defense or those are just bad reads. Because maybe one or two of the screens that they called actually worked, but I remember looking at the game, I'm like, man, why are we throwing so many screens? So it wasn't pretty. The defense did most of the heavy lifting, if not all the heavy lifting. And I said, I thought this Cardinals team was going to come out like gangbusters, and they did. They made it really hard on the number 1 seed. Yeah, sloppy win, but like Lamar said in his press conference, a win is a win. Yeah, there's not much I can say. There wasn't a lot here. So yeah, they got the win. It felt like they had more sacks than they did, though. I think they only had 3 sacks in this game, but if you watched the game, they got a lot of pressure and made it hard on the Cardinals offense. And it just felt like they had more pressure than they actually did. Kyler Murray. So Kyler Murray is day-to-day. It's been reported that he's day-to-day right now. He's at practice. He's making some of the Kyler Murray moves that he was making beforehand. And I don't want to see him. I don't know if I said this, but I don't want to see him this season. But it sounds like they're probably going to play him this season. Unless they want the number 1 pick. They could reset the direction of their whole franchise if they don't play him this year and get the number 1 pick. They could reset their whole franchise. Now, are you going to go, if you keep Kyler Murray, are you going to go Marvin Harrison Jr., or are you going to have pick Caleb Williams and trade Kyler Murray? But from what I'm seeing, it looks like they're going to keep Kyler Murray. So that's what I wanted them to do because Kyler Murray, he just feels like he should stay in that red. But it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to definitely be interesting to see what they do moving forward. But good win for the Ravens. So we're going to probably get to the best game of the day, Cleveland and Seattle. So I coined this the vet versus the young guy. So Geno Smith throws an interception late in the game. He comes back and redeems himself and gets a game-winning drive to win the game. Unforeseen circumstances for P.J. Walker, pop-up interception, and he can't finish it. Now, you would be like, well, Keys, he had more pressure in his face. Yeah, I get it. But P.J. Walker is making critical mistakes that I just don't think Deshaun would make. I think Cleveland might be on a 3-4 game winning streak if the quarterback play was just good enough. You know? The quarterback play is you can say this with every team, but quarterback play is really hindering the Browns. If Deshaun can get back and be at least serviceable, like I said last week, if Deshaun can come back and be a game manager, this team is going to be rough. Especially with Cincinnati getting their mojo back, this division looks like it's going to shape up to be what we all thought it was going to be. And even looking at that, Cleveland is still 4-3. So it's not like they're completely out of it. So, and Pickens got hurt, or Kenny Pickett got hurt. So the Steelers they're always valuable. But I don't think the Steelers will be any much of a threat now that they don't have that. And Matt Canada, they don't see what's wrong with Matt Canada. So I don't know what the hell is going on with the Steelers. Let me know if you're a Steelers fan. Let me know what the hell is going on with the Steelers and why they don't just fire their offensive coordinator. And I don't know. I could probably call better plays than that man. So, but yes, the Seahawks just win games, man. The Seahawks win games. Like, when I was kind of writing the script for this, I was thinking that I was going to start it with two teams that are really looking to prove themselves because nobody cares about the Seahawks and nobody really cares about Cleveland, other than you want to watch Cleveland lose because of the Deshaun thing and they're Cleveland. So yeah, hard fought game, man. Hard fought game. Geno was 23 for 37, 254 yards, 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns. PJ Walker was 15 for 31, 248 yards and a touchdown and 2 interceptions. And one of those interceptions being a pop up, just bad luck, just really really bad luck. And so we're gonna go into our other stuff, and I'm putting the rookie showcase in the other stuff because I really didn't get a chance to watch it. So CJ was 16 for 24, 140 yards. Young was 22 for 31, 235 yards and a touchdown. Finally got his first win. And I saw some flashes. That I was really happy about. He just needs some talent. He needs somebody else. He needs the offensive line, obviously. And he needs somebody else alongside Thielen. So I think they can address that in the draft. Just get more talent in the room, and I think Carolina will be fine. And in that division, you could probably win that division with 9 wins. So 9 or 10 wins. If you used to win 12 games, you could run away with that division. So it's not as dire as you think it would be. They could make a turnaround just like that. But as bad as that division is, and especially with Desmond Ridder, I'm not sure if he got benched or I think it was injury. I'll put it on the screen. I think he got injured, and so their quarterback situation is much worse. Tampa Bay is kind of falling off a little bit. Then you have them, and I'm forgetting the other team in that division, but I think that's all 4 teams. So there's a legit chance to win this division next year. It just won't be this year, unfortunately. But you get some offensive linemen and blah blah blah. I think I can't see Bryce Young being a bust. Let me be wrong. I'll go down with the ship. But I think he'd be fine once you get some more veterans around him. Kind of like the Tua Tagovailoa situation. Yeah, he's not going to look good as a smaller guy when you don't have the weapons around him that he had at Alabama. But you put the weapons around him that he had in Alabama, look how good Tua look now. So, Dallas. Dallas ended up blowing out the Rams 43-20. I have none of those numbers here. I'll put them on the screen. The Bills. I think I talked about the Bills last week. Yeah, they won, but I don't trust the Bills at all. Like, if the Bills don't make the playoffs, expect some major shakeups. And Josh Allen, I don't know. I can't even make an accurate depiction of Josh Allen because I don't watch Josh Allen much. But just from the highlights and the stuff that I read, he needs to get it together. You know what I mean? So I've heard somebody call him this generation's Brett Favre for all the wrong reasons, though. So I don't know. I don't believe in the Bills, and that's why I took my baby Cam Newton name away from Deion Sanders and throwing his offensive line under the bus for his son. He's been around football long enough to know that you don't say those things about players that you're going to rely on. Now, is that an old school approach versus my new school philosophy? Probably, but you don't throw your offensive line under the bus like that. You guys are 4-4 now. You was big chested when y'all was 3-1 and all that other stuff. Now it's really time for you to get into coaching. So I don't know. Like I said, y'all know how I feel about Deion and him leaving the HBCU. But now the Heat finna really get hot. The Heat really finna get hot. Nope. Now they only won 1 game last year, so hey, I don't know how many games are in college football, but going 500 would be a success. But you came in with all this bravado, and y'all started winning games. You was feeling yourself. Keep that same energy, man. Keep that same energy. So I wrote down more Chiefs, but I don't really have nothing else to say about the Chiefs other than or we're gonna cover the Chiefs like we would cover this if this was Baltimore sputtering like the Chiefs are. So I don't know. We'll see. They're still 6-2, so it's not like all is lost, but they don't look good. They haven't looked good all season. The offense hasn't looked good all season. Defense has been really good. And so that's all I got for you guys this week. A lot of me rambling, a lot of good stuff, a lot of good football. We in the meat of the season now, so I'll see you guys later on this week for my prediction if I get a chance to record it. Probably tomorrow. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Stay warm.